Hi guys, it's Emily Swank here with Autism Assistant, and we are here for another installment of our featured provider interviews. I love doing these because I feel like you get to just learn a little bit about our featured provider, the reasons behind what they do, a little bit of their personality. So today we have Kitsa Antonopoulos from Lumiere Child. Hi Kitsa.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well, thanks. Thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. I love this.
Well, thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to jump right in and have you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you guys do, like services you offer, and kind of the age range and service area.
Okay, great. So, as you mentioned, my name is Kitsa Antonopoulos. We're located in downtown Chicago in the Lincoln Park area. We've been servicing families for over 15 plus years. In downtown Chicago. We have a multidisciplinary practice. We have a clinic and facility, and we do also offer home-based services for behavioral health. We do offer it for speech and occupational therapy and some other services as well. So as I just mentioned, our practice has speech therapists, occupational therapists. We have physical therapists. We also offer social work services, and then our behavioral health program is one of our largest programs. With that, we offer a therapeutic preschool program as well for children that maybe aren't ready for a traditional program yet, but their parents want them to get used to the transitions, just the skills that you get. The socialization is a really big piece. We do potty training, which I think is a really big one. A lot of preschools want you to be potty trained before you go in. So families really like that. We also have enrichment groups for some older kids. So we do see children ages birth all the way through school age, because we do specialize in a birth to 3 capacity, but our preschool is going to be kind of that preschool age, 2.5, 3, around to 4, 5. And then we do have kind of a kindergarten that we offer as well.
I love that. I remember talking to you earlier about your preschool program, and I wish they had one of those in every city. I think so many autistic children could really benefit from having access to that. Love that program that you guys do. Yeah. So why are the services that you guys offer, why can they be so helpful for autistic children?
I think that the skill set for children with an autism diagnosis can be varied. And I think that it can be a challenge for parents to try to navigate that 100% on their own. So I know that receiving a brand new diagnosis can be scary, but I do think a parent to surround themselves with that support, with specialists that have been working with families and children for a long period of time will really help guide them in very many ways. The biggest way that I think some people forget is through insurance and how to navigate insurance and how to get services covered. And we're a really big advocate for that. That's something that our practice really tries to help navigate for the parents. So understanding your insurance policy is really big. Working with a practice that really understands insurance and can really guide you is very, very important. In addition to that, you want to work with a facility that employs, really highly qualified individuals. You don't want them to be cutting corners in any way, shape, or form. So you want to ask those questions about the therapist that will be working with your child, what level of credential they have. If you're not sure about the level of credential, you definitely want to look that up or ask some questions. And then you want to work with a facility that really understands that what the family's goals are as well. So I think as clinicians and just service providers, we're all trained to have a variety of, developmental skills that the child should meet at different ages or what they're working towards. But I think it's really, really important in our practice. It's really important that the family's goal is our goal as well. So it's a collaborative effort. Families want to work with a company that has a very, very much a team approach, that's very collaborative in their approach. And that is very much including the parent. The parent should be part of that child's team at all times. So I think that's very important. And just making sure they have a really good feel for the facility. Go check the facility out. Take a look at the facility, walk through, see what you think. A facility that also offers a combination of home-based services in addition to maybe a clinic-based service, I think is really important. There are going to be challenges in more of a, what we call school setting, that a child is going to have to learn to navigate. But then there are going to be challenges at home that are going to be completely different than what is going to be happening in like a clinic or a school-based setting. So it's important that the behavior therapist that is working with your family can see the child in a variety of settings, so that their treatment plan that they develop is very holistic and really takes a look at all of the needs for the child. And I think that's when the child becomes most successful, and the family.
That is great advice. Yes, from a parent standpoint, that is great advice on what to look for and what sort of steps to take. So if, let's say, for a parent whose child has just been diagnosed and they're new to all of this, what does it look like getting started with you guys? What should they expect?
Yeah, so usually families connect with us either through a referral through a pediatrician, or they could have just, done a search online and found us and said, hey, I'm interested in this facility. Word of mouth. There's a variety of different ways to really connect with us. We do offer an online platform if you're interested in just, entering information into a form, or we even have a spot where you can enter your insurance if you're just curious. We verify benefits for every family. We like to have a really good understanding as best as we can regarding the insurance policy, because a lot of times if facilities don't have a good feel for how the insurance is going to help support the coverage of these services, the child could get started and then there's a problem, and then services have to stop. And we don't want that. We want continuity of care, and we want the child to kind of get started and they build on those skills. So you can fill the form out online. If you like to just talk to a person, you can call us. We have wonderful intake coordinators who are very knowledgeable on this topic, and they can help families navigate when they call. We provide information in order to verify benefits. If families aren't ready to go quite to that step yet, you can just call and inquire about our program. You can schedule a site visit. You can schedule a Zoom interview with our lead BCBA, which is our board certified behavior analyst, who can answer questions. Our executive director is always available. So we have a lot of people that are willing to just kind of answer all of those questions, and then we would verify insurance, and then from that point, it's a matter of us building out the program. There are initial evaluations that need to be completed per the insurance company's requests and recommendations, and also guidelines. And so we follow all of that in order to develop a treatment plan. The evaluation gives us a snapshot of what the child's able to do, along with the clinical expertise, and allows us to it's really a starting point and creates a baseline. As you work with your team of clinicians, they become better at understanding your child, and those goals are updated daily if needed, weekly. As a child meets a goal, we move on to another goal, so there's always forward progress in that. And then there's a lot of parent training. Actually, parent training is a very large piece of the treatment plan. And the treatment plan, as I mentioned before, is developed collaboratively with the parent.
Awesome. So what is your inspiration behind what you do? Kind of what got you into this?
Yeah, so my background is actually, I'm a speech pathologist by training. And so I've been in the field for over 20 years. And as a new graduate, I was doing what everybody else was doing, going out there, exploring the various settings, trying to understand where I could serve the population of children and families that I'm passionate about, and figuring out the best setting for me as well. What's my best skill set? As I did that, realized that younger children, birth to 3, was really where my passion was. And as we started to work in a variety of settings, I discovered that lots of children were getting turned away for services. The way that the system, at least in the past, I do believe that it's greatly improved. The way that the system is set up, it was a lot of families were just hitting a wall, or they were finding that they would go to one facility for one service and then another facility for another service. And then the insurance company has stipulations on what services can be billed on what days. And I know I keep talking about insurance, but if you can't navigate this, you can't get access to these services. And so what was happening is families were, one, running around all over the place, taking their kids to various appointments. Two, the billing teams were not speaking from various companies to each other. So parents were getting denied claims on either side and huge bills and having to sort through that themselves, which is just a nightmare, just a nightmare. And then on top of that, we believe that the continuity of care between the teams, so you have a speech therapist, an occupational therapist, a behavior therapist, maybe a physical therapist on your child's team, but how often are they really collaborating and talking? Are their skills really overlapping? So we were seeing that it was a bit disjointed and disconnected. And so when families started approaching us, we started out with speech therapists. As families started approaching us saying, no, do you have occupational therapy? Do you have this? And we sat down with our leadership team and we thought, I think these parents are on to something here. So we're always listening to our families. And, we asked what would it take to create a facility that would reduce the complexity of, treatment and care, reduce the complexity of the billing, and then also reduce the complexity of just the travel time. I mean, that takes up so much time, especially in a city like Chicago. We have a lot of traffic, things like that. And, people are busy and parents have to be parents and also, run all the other things that they run. And so as a result, we decided to build out these various departments. And again, that was a while ago. So that's how we ended up where we are and being who we are. And I think that has really been my passion, is not every time we have to turn a family away because maybe we haven't built something out that fits their need. That's the next thing our leadership team is working on. It's like, we really don't want to turn families away. If a child needs a service, they should be able to get great access to a service. And unfortunately, it can be a challenge still today. And so we work closely with insurance companies. We work closely with other facilities just to try to make this work for families and work closely to educate them. So I think that that's really been my passion. I get really excited when I can see a family and a child work together, when I see that parent kind of become comfortable with their child, know exactly what to do, and the joy that they see and seeing their child succeed, and then just that family unit is really a great joy for me and my team. I mean, we call them magic moments, actually. You'll find them on our page, on our social media, on our Instagram, especially on our Instagram, but we like to celebrate magic moments. So it's not just these big milestones, but what are these little bitty milestones that are happening every single day? And we think everyone should celebrate their own magic moments every single day. So that's kind of what we do.
I absolutely love that. I think that parents who are new to all this, that's something that you quickly learn is it's not so much, you don't look for the big things as much as just celebrating the little wins, and when they're making progress and when they do something themselves, like just any little thing, it makes life so much more fun, and celebrating them off of their own progress. And I also think something that parents who are new to the diagnosis will quickly learn is the thing that you touched on about scheduling, and how if you have appointments all across town, it can be impossible to get kids to all the therapy appointments they need. And so the fact that you guys offer all of that in one location, that's something that new parents don't always know to look for. That can be a game changer when you're saying, okay, well, you can get all 3 or 4 or 2, whatever therapies you need in one location, and you don't have to drive all over town to do multiple appointments. That is huge. That's awesome that you guys thought of that and incorporated that into your business.
Thank you. Yeah, we're really proud of it. We're excited that it's a model that's successful and working for families.
Awesome. And so my last question for you would just be, can you tell us what is the most challenging thing about what you do, and then the most rewarding?
Yes. So, gosh, challenging. Well, I already touched on insurance, so I won't go into it again. But I would say that the insurance companies are always a challenge. So I would say to families that maybe are watching this, don't give up. Um, if you have questions, even if you are not located in Chicago, please call us. We can give you some tips and tricks. One of the things I want to mention just to families that might be listening is, in November is open enrollment. Um, you can purchase individual policies for your child if you are, if you work somewhere or you have a group plan and that group plan doesn't seem to fit your, the needs that you need, don't stress. There are individual policies out there. You want to pick a policy that is a good fit for the city you're in, the state you're in. Every state has a different, and every city has a different insurance provider that might be the best fit for that community. So I think educating yourself on that is really important. And you probably have an idea of what that is. I would say that the second challenge for us just as a facility is scheduling. And that's just kind of our own challenge. And it's just because, we're working with people and we're working with families and we're working with children and we're also working with our staff, and they're also people. And so things come up. And so we have an excellent team of schedulers and intake coordinators. We have a variety of core values. So one of them is making something work. And so we really believe, and believe is one of them as well. We really believe that it's important to try to make things work. So yes, we have guidelines and policies that we follow as a company because it's important to have structure to what we do, but we always try to work with our families and just try to make it work for them, try to make it work for our staff, so that, everyone can be happy. We like to create a great work environment. It's really important that you love to come to work and that you really enjoy the people that you are around and that what you do, and building out our culture as a company. We spent a lot of time, an extensive amount of time working on this, and we think that it's really important. So the core values that we have is believe, teach and learn, have fun. And we have fun because we work with kids, and a lot of what we do involves playing and interacting with children at a level that they understand, while obviously providing treatment. We believe that therapy works. We believe that therapy is effective, and I've never seen a child not make progress. Sometimes progress might be slower, sometimes progress might be faster. Everyone's on their own path. All families are on their own path. Everything's individualized, but we do believe, and we believe in each other, and we believe in our families and our kids. So
that's awesome. Well, and what's the most rewarding? I was asking the most
rewarding. I would say that the most rewarding part is really seeing our kiddos come in. I mean, some of our kids have been with us since they were 3, and they graduate from our program quite quickly, I might add. Will graduate through our program. Our goal is to get them reintegrated back into whatever more traditional program is appropriate for them. But seeing them graduate, and we have a graduation party for our kids that graduate, and seeing them kind of walk across that stage. We've got, the little graduation gowns for them. Having parents see that your child has achieved this very successful milestone, and they're quite young, and now they're moving on to the next milestone, and they've got this, and you've got this, and you're going to be able to help guide them through, the other challenges. And everyone has challenges. So I think it's the most rewarding thing to see children progress, move forward, see families be excited, move forward, and to help create a level of peace, just kind of with them, because I think that it can be I know it can be in a very incredibly stressful situation, and it can be a stressful time. And being able to say, hey, you're not alone. You have the support. Not only do you just have one person, but you have a team. You have an entire company of people that are here to help guide and support you. so that you can become the best you and your child can become the best them. And I think that's the most rewarding thing for us.
That's great to hear. And that's what we want as parents too, is just to see progress and them doing a great job. Thank you so much for taking the time to do the interview with us. Guys, if you have more questions about Lumiere Child, or you would like to just contact Kitsa with any questions, we will have a link to their profile on our site on Autism Assistant in the information about the video below. But thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.